What's in store for the Dubois County Community Foundation as we go into 2014? Thank you for joining us on WJTS in Form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is Brad Ward. He is the Executive Director for the Community Foundation. And kind of spearheading the communications and engagement is Nicole Hurrle. Welcome to both of you.
Welcome.
Well, we've had you on recently. We've been talking about what a great year you had last year, but let's talk about the future. What are we looking for, and what are new things that may be happening in 2014?
Well, one of the internal things that's happening is Susan McGovern, who has been our program associate now for several years. She was a retired teacher and started as a volunteer for the Community Foundation, and then very quickly became an integral part of our organization. Is now going to be retiring again from the Community Foundation. Her and her husband are getting ready to do great travels, and so we are going to be seeing a great vacancy in the person that manages all of our scholarships, all of our grants, and coordinates a lot of the fund information to our donors and to our fund holders. And with that change has come Nona Baker. Nona Baker was formerly, she was a scholarships coordinator for VU Foundation, and just a phenomenal lady that we're so excited to have come on board with us. And she's going to be kind of fulfilling the role that Susan played, but also even into a greater capacity with our donor services and donor relations. And so with that change comes the continued shift by the Community Foundation to be more focused on helping people engage with the Community Foundation, understand what does it mean to start an endowment? What does it mean to create a legacy? What does it mean to make grants to charities? And how do I make the greatest impact? And is there an organization that can help me figure out what this organization is doing versus this one? That's the Community Foundation. And so now we'll have Nona, Clayton Boyles is our donor relations associate, Nicole is working with our communications and engagement, myself, and then also we have Juanita Meyer, who manages our books and does all the accounting and keeps us in line financially. So we have great people on staff. That's probably one of the things that I'm most excited about, is having the people to be able to truly be present and engaged in the community and just be an open resource to those that want to work with us.
Do you find people are confused or hesitant about a community foundation because they just don't understand money and how you can do things? And I know you've got restricted and unrestricted funds, but the whole goal of what you do is to make giving simple. Although it's in a complicated way, I guess.
Well, we can use complicated, tax, tax deductibility and, deferred gifts and planned gifts. And what we're always trying to do is figure out what's most advantageous to the donor. What is going to be the best from reducing tax liability or meeting the greatest need or aligning with your interests to maybe you want to engage your family. Maybe you want to engage your grandchildren. Maybe you're a company that just says, gosh, we're giving $50 here, $500 here, and we don't have a control over that, and we're not even sure whether our brand is being recognized, or we're creating awareness of who we are and the causes that we're supporting. Those are all things that the Community Foundation can take a look at, because our job is not to necessarily be the doers. It is to be looking at this at a 30,000-foot elevation of how can we make a difference. And from the simplicity, Nicole certainly understands to any degree the types of funds that can be set up.
I think that's the great thing about giving through the foundation, and it really starts again with the question of what do you want to achieve, what difference do you want to make, and then from there, how involved do you want to be in your charitable giving? And so with all these different types of endowments that you can establish through the foundation, you're going to be able to find one that best fits your needs. We have donors who want to be very involved, and so one type of endowment that we have is the donor advised fund, and that's a way for people to really stay involved with their philanthropy. We have donors who know that they just really wanted to make sure that there's a check going out to their local church or their favorite charity each year. So there may be a designated fund that would be established for them, but at the end of the day, we always ask the donors, what difference do you want to make, and how involved do you want to be? And so, it can get complicated for people, but that's why we're here. And so we're always happy to sit down and answer those questions for our donors.
I think of Irene that worked with Nicole on a gift to the Providence Home. An endowment was set up for Providence Home, and Irene's the kind of person that supports Providence Home across the board, but her particular love was the grotto at the Providence Home, something that many of us have enjoyed over the years. And when she was thinking more about her legacy, about what was going to happen when she was gone, she wanted to do what she could to protect the grotto. She felt very confident that Providence Home as a whole would continue to receive her gifts during her lifetime. They would continue to do great things and acquire gifts from a broad base. But the Providence Home's grotto, maybe it wouldn't receive that special attention when she was gone, because she's a type of volunteer who goes there and even spruces it up when nobody even asks her to. So she set up an endowment specifically for the grotto. And what that will do is she invested money with the Community Foundation. We manage that fund, and we take the income from that investment and we give it out each year back to the Providence Home to help with their grotto. And that is something that will happen for the next 100 years. However long there's a grotto, there will be dollars available to support it. And that's the kind of work we do. And I remember Irene even asking the question, is it okay to single out one piece of an organization that I love? And absolutely, when that is something that you want to be sure that is a treasured asset of our community, that's exactly what we should be doing.
I guess too, some people may be going, I've got this little bit of money I'd like to give it, but I really don't know. You have such a variety of options of different needy organizations, and not necessarily even needy, like the grotto is not a needy as such, but it is something, it's a need that they can give. How could they find out about the plethora of things that you offer?
Well, I think of the field of interest. A lot of times we'll have folks that come in and say, I really want to have an impact on healthcare, or I want to have an impact on the arts, or culture, or youth, education. And you and I both know that within social services, for example, maybe they want to support social services. We love the work that Crisis Connection does, TRICAP, Head Start. The list goes on and on. So how in the world do they choose just one? Well, one thing that the Community Foundation can do is work with those donors and set up what we call a field of interest. The field of interest is social services. And it's our job as a Community Foundation to determine, well, which charity of all those social services organizations that are providing direct services to individuals in need, food pantries, you name it, which one has a project or program that could really utilize the money most this year? And it may never be the same from year to year. It may be, but the objective is that over the next 10, 2,500 years, we'll be able to take that income from that fund and broad base, make sure that it's support. Those are when people say, I just love the arts or culture. We have some folks that come in and say, I love the community. Whether it be the Dubois community, Celestine, Jasper, Dubois County as a whole. I love this community. I want, Ferdinand to receive a benefit. I want so-and-so over here. You figure it out, Community Foundation. I may not even be here in the next 100 years to know what are the needs of this community. Just like, our forefathers that have helped us, we've already amassed $23 million in the Community Foundation. For a community our size, that's very good. Columbus, Terre Haute, communities like that, they have 40, 50 million. We're more in line with a New Albany or Bloomington that has 20 million in assets. And what that really means is those are assets that we're paying forward to the next generations. And that's going to generate, at minimum, $500,000 or more a year that we can put back into the community to try to assure that we have the greatest landscapes, the greatest parks and schools, you name it.
And the best thing to do is people should just contact you. If they have any question, I guess it's just talk to you.
Have a conversation. That's what it is. There's certainly no obligations. And one thing we do is we never send anybody away from the standpoint of unhappy. If an endowment isn't the right thing, but you're trying to figure out how to make an impact, we're going to get you connected with those charities today. Our objective is not to try to take away from immediate impact, it's try to balance sustainability. Well, what are we trying to sustain? What types of organization, causes, assets in the community do we want to protect? And so we have a conversation with every donor, try to help them find the right fit for them.
And we talked about donors. What about organizations that are collecting funds that would like to be part of the Community Foundation? Is that welcomed?
Absolutely. We encourage all of our nonprofits to really have that long-term vision when they're establishing their, projections and so forth. And we have several endowments that support local charities, A Kid's Place, Crisis Connection, just to name a few. And it's so important that, they continue to raise funds for their immediate needs, but that they also are planning for those long-term plans. And so we are happy to work with those agencies, and we have several locally that have done that. And so it's just a great thing that they can start now for the organization's future.
What the agencies are typically doing is they're saying, we want to create a guaranteed source of income for our organization. You know, fundraising is at the whim of their capacity to raise money each and every year. An endowment, it's a guarantee. You're going to have income in perpetuity. That's the intent. And if we're not able to meet that objective, we have serious problems because we're relying on the markets and we're relying on long-term strategies. So endowments are a safe bet for charities to start building a guaranteed source of income. So she's absolutely right. Many agencies have taken full advantage of taking assets that they have accumulated over the years and said, let's figure out a way to protect it, and let's figure out a way to create sustainability.
Now, you always take donations, but you have a fun event coming up, the Trivia Night. Talk about that a little bit.
Trivia Night is certainly something that Nicole and I are very excited about. We have to, our hats go off to Kurt and Shannon Foose. They certainly brought this event about for us over 6 years ago, and they have put their heart and soul into creating questions and trivia, random trivia categories. And what it is it's a fun, festive, team-oriented activity. So even if you don't like trivia, you can still pull together a team and have a lot of fun. Tables are $160, and that works out to $20 a person. So it's a $20 donation per person. Teams of 8 come together, and as a table, you compete with 30, 40 other tables on random trivia right there at your table. Each round may be different: music, pop culture, cereals, history, local trivia, you name it. The things are entertaining. The night goes by very quick. Bill, you certainly have participated and done quite well. You amass a pretty good team of folks that know their useless.
I was going to say, we don't know a lot of useless
knowledge, maybe. But it's all in good fun to raise awareness and dollars for the Community Foundation and the work that we do back in the community. And each team plays for an endowment of their choice. So all these funds are represented, and we try to just raise money to, again, build for the future and have a night of fun and festivities and as you know, it's all generations, anyone from 20s, 30s, 60s, 70s, all are welcome, and it's a great community event.
It's always best to have a table of different ages.
That's right.
I always in that upper age is what I bring in. Somebody else brings in the younger age.
Strategy might say that you want to have people that have variety of interests so that you can capture on the different categories.
Is there a limit to how many people can participate? How many? Because you've only got so much room. And
that's right. Teams of 8, and we can only take up to 40 tables, and we have never had any problem getting to capacity. Yes. So we strongly encourage to give us a call, 482-5295. Get your reservation. Go online to our website, www.dccommunityfoundation.org. There should be some information there. Or Kurt Foose, the man himself who is the questionnaire. You can try to get a few questions out of him. You can bribe him all you want. I highly doubt it will work. But I don't know. I don't know what his price is. So.
All right. Well, thanks to both of you for coming in.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And please make sure that you consider making a donation or participating in things that the Dubois County Community Foundation does throughout the year. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form, and thank you to our guests, Brad Ward and Nicole Hurrle with the Dubois County Community Foundation. Have a great day.